Good morning students. How are you? Beta, our chapter The Age of Industrialization is going on. This chapter is so lengthy. In the previous videos, we have read about the before the industrial revolution. In that part, we have read about the coming up of the factory, the pace of the industrial change. In the second part, hand labor and steam power, we have read about the hand human labor and the life of workers. Human labor, in that part we have read about the there was no shortage of human labor. First point. Second is seasonal demand for labor at that time. Third is mm, many things, most of the things were produced by the hands. Fourth point is mostly upper class people preferred handmade products. Clear? Fifth is handmade products symbolized refinement and class, better and careful finishing. In this was the hand labor. Now life of workers. Life of workers was very, we can say they were having a fear of unemployment at that time, because miserable conditions in the cities at that time. People were very in fear of unemployment. In increased wages could not cope with the price rise, because the prices were rising day by day, but their income was low according to their the prices. Clear? After that, employment opportunities opened up after 1840. Next is, we can say, many waited for weeks and stayed under bridges or in night shelters, and we can say, but their conditions were there, they were a fear of shelter and job. Clear? In the next, we are going to read the next part, industrialization in colonies. In this part, we will read about the age of the Indian textiles and what happened to the weavers. What happened to the weavers? The age of Indian textiles. In this, beta, Indian silk and cotton dominated international markets. In this part, Indian silk and cotton dominated international markets. India had a vibrant sea trade through Surat and Hooghly. There was these ports were very famous for the trade. After that, Indian merchants and bankers involved in export trade network. Fourth, we can say European companies broke this network by securing concessions and monopoly rights to trade. They wanted to do the trade. Next is old ports of Surat and Hooghly declined. Credit dried up and bankers became bankrupt. Bombay and Calcutta port flourished. In this part we will read about. I am again repeating these points, beta. First of all, Indian silk and cotton dominated international market. Second is, India had a vibrant sea trade through Surat and Hooghly. Next is, Indian merchants and bankers involved in export network. Fourth is, European companies broke this network by securing, they wanted to concession and monopoly rights to do the trade. After that, old ports of Surat and Hooghly declined, and after that, credit dried up and bankers became bankrupt, and Bombay and Calcutta ports flourished. Now they wanted to do the work, they trade through Bombay and Calcutta. After that, what happened to the weavers? In this part, what happened to the weavers? East India Company faced competition from French. Now the many colonies were coming, beta, like French, Dutch and Portuguese. They were coming. They wanted to do the trade through these Bombay and Calcutta ports. After that, East India companies developed a system of management and control to eliminate competition, control prices, and ensure regular supplies. After that, we can say adopted system of loans to the weavers to prevent them dealing with otherwise. They were giving the loans to those people to prevent them dealing with other buyers. They wanted to capture the whole trade. Clear? After that, appointment of the gomasta to supervise weavers, collect supplies and examine quality. After that, clashes between weavers and gomastas, and weavers in Carnatic and Bengal deserted villages. In this part we will read. Clear? After that, beta, Manchester comes to India. Comes to India. In these pages, you have already read these pages, so I am explaining. In this page, beta, beginning of the 19th century marked the decline of Indian textile export. After that, import duties on Indian textiles to protect Manchester's goods, collapse of Indian export and shrink of local market. After that, Indian weavers could not compete Manchester imports. They were not able. They can't compete the Manchester's goods. Clear? After that, we can say Indian weavers starved for good quality cotton. Factories production began in India. Then factories, handmade things were going to decline, and now the factories take the place instead of handmade goods. Clear? The companies were making, the factories were producing the goods. We can say American Civil War gave impetus to the Indian raw cotton exports, which are they declining the all. We can say, see this as raw cotton export from India increased, the price of raw cotton shot up. Weavers in India were starved of supplies, forced to buy raw cotton at exorbitant prices. In this situation, weaving could not pay. Clear? Weaving could not pay. They were starved of supplies. They wanted to supply the goods, but they were not getting the raw material. They were not getting the good price for those things. Then by the end of the 19th century, weavers and other crafts people faced yet another problem. Factories in India began production, flooding the market with machine goods. I have told you, so we can say, how could weaving industries possibly survive? These are some questions we will explain in the next video. Our next topic is factories came up. After that, factories came up. So read these pages with yourself. Clear? Thanks and have a nice day.